Shoppers, so if you're feeling the crunch, check out Fleet Farm for hot last-minute deals. Keep your feast tasty with a Nesco 18-quart roaster, now just $59.99. Keep your loved ones toasty with Milwaukee heated apparel and get a free battery pack with purchase. Speaking of cozy, get a portable buddy heater with fuel filter for only $69.99. Wrap up your holiday shopping now at Fleet Farm, home of the best prices, guaranteed.
Protect mom's assets, protect your assets. Call Kraus Estate Planning, estateplanningpeople.com.
Tonight, the Bulls are on the Bucks' naughty list.
He's rejected by Giannis again. He is not done yet. Gary Trent Jr. stepping into a three on the other side as he buries it.
Our coverage of the game in Chicago begins tonight at 6 with Bucks Shoot Around. We are your home for the Milwaukee Bucks. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
Good morning, 9:02. We have 33 degrees. Winter weather advisory begins at 2 this afternoon to 8 p.m. for Fond du Lac and Sheboygan counties. Chance of a wintry mix, cloudy today with a high of 37. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Connie Weber. With a busy travel day ahead, the big concern as you head out the door is ice. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Kristen Kirchane.
So a glaze of ice possible on some of those roads, especially untreated roadways, bridges and overpasses, any untreated sidewalks, those back roads, and even if you've had your vehicle parked outside, there may be some ice on that as well.
The wintry mix could also affect your travel if you're heading to Green Bay for tonight's Packers game. Your complete WTMJ 5-day forecast coming up in about 5 minutes. Funeral services continue for the victims of the Abundant Life Christian School shooting in Madison. 42-year-old teacher Erin West will be remembered today at Doxa Church in Madison. The funeral for 14-year-old Ruby Vergara, the student killed in the shooting, was held Saturday morning. Her uncle, Andy Ramus, invited people to embrace joy and grief.
Something is funny that's said about a memory of Ruby, laugh. And if you need to clap in confirmation, clap. If this is truly a celebration of life, then let's do it.
Ramus says community support has been incredible and offered condolences to the shooter's family.
We hold no bitterness or unforgiveness towards 15-year-old Natalie Rupnow and her family. They lost a daughter too.
Governor Tony Evers ordering flags to continue flying at half-staff through sunset today. Luigi Mangione will appear in court today to face charges brought by New York State in the murder of healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Here's ABC's Aaron Katursky.
Mangione has already appeared in federal court on stalking and murder charges after his return to New York following his arrest in Pennsylvania, where investigators said they found handwritten notes that described Mangione's alleged intent to whack the CEO at an investors conference. Police said Mangione's own mother told investigators it might be something that she could see him doing. She had filed a missing persons report with police in San Francisco 2 weeks before the murder.
President Biden commuting the sentences of almost all federal death row inmates. He announced this morning he condemns the murders committed but can't in good conscience advocate for the death penalty at the federal level. There are now only 3 remaining federal death row inmates. A growing Mega Million jackpot could bring a special last-minute Christmas gift this year. Here's ABC's Will Reeve.
Nobody won the jackpot on Friday, so the next Mega Millions jackpot is sitting at an estimated $944 million. That's the 7th largest in Mega Millions history. 13 jackpots have been won over the years in December, but none this big. It has hit on Christmas Eve once before, 22 years ago. That was the first year of Mega Millions' existence, as a matter of fact. That went for $68 million. It went unclaimed.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is down 270 points. NASDAQ is up 38. The S&P 500 is down 9. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports is sponsored by Holiday Automotive at Highway 23 in Fond du Lac. Holiday Automotive, it's worth the trip. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Sighting Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 9:05.
WTMJ's Greg Mansick here for Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac. Get more of what moves you and drive with confidence this winter in a new all-wheel drive Mazda. Holiday is the destination to get more Mazda for your money, more for your trade, and score enticing offers during the Season to Move You event. Well-qualified buyers can lock in rates as low as 0% on most new Mazda models, like the invigorating Mazda CX-30, the off-road ready Mazda CX-50, roomy and responsive 3-row Mazda CX-90, and more. Plus, score an extra $500 holiday cash on new 2025s on top of their low, simplified price. As a longtime Team Holiday fan myself, I know from experience you'll appreciate their exceptional guest care and fun, simple, pressure-free way of doing things. You'll be in great hands with Wisconsin's #1 Mazda dealer on your side. Treat yourself to a test drive, find yours, and drive it home today from Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac and at holidaymazda.com. It's worth the trip.
Make holiday magic this year with something beautiful and timeless from Diamonds Direct. A stunning diamond pendant, a pair of classic diamond stud earrings, something new and eye-catching from a world-class designer. Or maybe you're looking for that perfect gemstone piece or a fabulous timepiece. At Diamonds Direct, we have hundreds of styles that are ready to be wrapped and put under the tree. No need to wait for shipping. Come and let our experts help you pick out that headliner gift. Or for some fabulous ideas before you head to the store, see the online seasonal gift guide now at DiamondsDirect.com. You can even chat now with a virtual assistant for the ultimate convenience. Whether you connect online or in person, you're guaranteed to get the extraordinary value, ironclad warranties, and white glove service Diamonds Direct is known for. And to help make your purchase even more affordable, we've got special financing so you can spread out your payments. Get directions, details, special showroom hours, and our holiday gift guide now at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The bright lights of primetime await the Packers and New Orleans Saints tonight at Lambeau Field. Packers are 14-point favorites for tonight's game. Coverage begins with Green Bay game day at 4 o'clock. Bucks have one more game before the holiday break. The team tips off against the Bulls tonight from Chicago. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Johnston & Sons paving time safer traffic. There was a disabled vehicle on the exit to Highway 18 from I-94 West. That has been cleared. A disabled vehicle is blocking a left lane I-794 West about a mile beyond the ramp from Car Ferry Road. That is in the clearing stages.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast winter weather advisory from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. for Fond du Lac and Sheboygan counties. Today, a chance of a wintry mix, cloudy with a high 37. A mixed chance early tonight, mostly cloudy, low 31. Mostly cloudy and 36 for a high tomorrow. Then Christmas Day, cloudy, isolated drizzle and a high 38. Thursday, a slight chance of rain, again cloudy, high 43. And Friday, we've got chances of rain again, cloudy with a high of 47. Right now, 34 in Madison, 32 in Green Bay, 35 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber, Sighting Unlimited WTMJ News Time 9:09.
Good morning, Wisconsin. So let's pour that coffee and talk to some experts about what's going on in Milwaukee, Madison, Washington, and beyond. Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. It's the Political Power Hour on WTMJ. Here's your host, Steve Scaffidi.
Should we talk about the government?
I think the answer to that question is yes. Happy Monday. Stay safe on the roadways. Looks like a little slick out there soon across the state of Wisconsin. Bill Glover, veteran journalist, joins us in studio.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, happy holidays.
Wish me happy birthday on Christmas Day.
Are you one of those guys?
I'm one of those guys.
So let's, even though it's a political show, we can still delve into other things because it's Christmas week and Hanukkah week. Cheated of gifts or more gifts with that holiday?
Well, we're Jewish, so not really cheated of gifts.
That's true. But I mean,
it actually gave us
Hanukkah's around Christmas.
Hanukkah's around, but Hanukkah you're getting socks and pencil erasers.
So they spread it out over 7 days.
8 days.
8 days. So a gift each day.
Yeah, small gift each day, a big gift at the end. That was, when I was growing up. I don't know how it's changed, if it's big gifts every night, but it's certainly not Christmas.
I learned something about Hanukkah yesterday. I was watching CBS Sunday Morning, and they had a couple rabbis on talking about the start of Hanukkah. And apparently the original idea was to light all the candles the first day and go backwards.
I saw that, too. That was interesting.
I never knew that.
I never knew it either.
It seems counterproductive, though. You build up to it, not
I think the build up was the better way to go.
So do you have like special? I love the holiday talk because again, we can do whatever we want this week. It's holiday week. Special meals, all that stuff.
Potato latkes.
My wife loves
what I
those,
go
and she's
for.
not Jewish.
Yeah.
What's the big deal with those?
Well, I mean, it's like a fish fry potato, you know, but it's once a year.
Nice.
And
you only eat them once a year?
Well, and the potato latkes is known to be, you know, with potato latkes and applesauce over Hanukkah.
Well, you'll be happy. She's not Jewish, and she just bought some for the holidays.
Well, that sounds good.
Yeah, she's embracing everything.
She knows what she's doing.
All right, let's rip from the headlines. All right, so the Matt Gaetz ethics report basically broke this morning. Underage sex, paid for it. Apparently twice with a minor, 17 years old, junior in high school.
High school junior, not words to live by.
No. And there's more to it. There's allegations of drug use, drug purchase. Some of the stuff done through his congressional. He had like a fake congressional account set up, and he was like using other words like magic candy or something, and to not use the word drug, obviously, or the actual drug name. My question is this. Why isn't he being criminally prosecuted? Is there a get out of jail free card for congressman?
The feds don't seem to have made the case against Gaetz. They did against his compadre, but not against him. And wasn't it just a month ago where he was actually nominated to be attorney general?
Yeah. Think about that for a second. I'm pretty sure that President-elect, former President Donald Trump, probably knew some of this stuff. Now, to be honest, and I'm not blasted on the president-elect, but he's had a checkered past when it comes to these types of things. Not drugs, but women. And a lot of that's documented. A lot of that was ignored by voters in 3 elections, essentially. But it is an interesting choice to make that guy your choice for attorney general. What does it speak to? What does it say? Like anything goes? Is that the way we're approaching politics now?
I think we keep lowering our standards and allowing this to happen. I think these are low standards for a guy like Matt Gaetz to be in public life, to even think about running for governor of Florida. Who knows? Maybe he wins. But, you know, it's interesting. We were talking about this before the show. I find it sort of interesting that this comes out a day after Laura Trump said that she, you know, wasn't going to be a senator from Florida.
What do you make of that?
I'm just wondering if this has to do with the upcoming governor's race there in 2 years to try to sideline him.
Do you think, again, this is speculation, somebody with this record, and again, we'll see what happens to this in the criminal justice system, let alone if he ever has a life in politics again, but voters in Florida sitting there and saying, you know, Ron DeSantis has to leave because they have term limits. Let's go with Matt Gaetz. Maybe not a better choice to be made for Republicans than Matt Gaetz. There's Tim Scott or, you know, with some of the other gentlemen that work there or ladies.
Well, there would be anybody would be a better choice than Matt Gaetz for governor of Florida. But we'll see what happens. I mean, the American public seems to have a memory that lasts about 90 days. So, you know, it's just astonishing that this keeps happening and that, again, that we keep lowering our standards. These people should be better than this.
They should be, but they're not. What does that say about our country? Let's take a break. Lots to get to in the headlines. Tech journalist Kara Swisher, her book, Burn Book, fantastic book about all the tech giants and these guys, mainly men, who sort of reinvented everything about our lives.
Are they men or boys?
Oh, if you read the book, you know what I'm talking about. That brilliant point. And then Congress passed a spending bill, which I didn't think was going to happen, but my question is really business as usual because they just extended it out to March 14th. We'll figure it out in March. And my text question of the day. So all you folks who are listening on this holiday week, thanks for paying attention. Thanks for tuning in. 855-616-1620. Why do we buy gift cards when cash would be perfectly fine? That's my question. Simple. Why do we go to trouble of chasing down a gift card? Sometimes that process, I'm just speaking from my own.
Do you know where I'm headed this afternoon?
I don't know. Save that. Bill Glauber, longtime journalist from Walker Journal Sentinel and other publications. We'll get to that and a lot more on the program today. Political Power Hour, 620 WTMJ.
Don't count us out. Not
Lillard
yet.
scoops to the hoop, lays it in. The Bucks have taken a 1-point Lopez in transition, squeezes up a three, and he drilled it. The Bucks throwing fire.
This season is far from over.
To work with drives inside and stuffs it down with the right hand. 59 points now for Giannis. He's tapping his chest as he goes the other way, saying, "This is my house.
We are the home of the Bucks.
This is my house."
WTMJ.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi for Advent. I love talking about Advent because it changed my life and it could change yours. Tossing and turning, restless nights of sleep, snoring. How many of you snore? Raise your hands out there in Radio Land. I snored so bad my wife Kathy had to deal with all this nonsense. I went to Advent before I ever was a spokesperson. I went on my own. They determined my problem, sinuses and nasal passages. It's very common. Everybody's different problems, different solutions. But for mine, simple sleep study we did at home in my own bed, short procedure, fixed it. Again, last night, this could be you. 7.5 hours uninterrupted sleep. Went to bed, woke up, boom. If you struggle like I used to, take the time. See how Advent can help you. To find out a lot more, go to adventknows.com. Schedule an appointment today because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Ready for a win? Well, it's your year. At Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee, you can win over $2,000 in free play every month all year long. Just play your favorite games and you might take the stage in the It's Your Year game show. 25 winners each Thursday. There's $300,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs this January. Yeah, we think it's your year. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 years old to play.
It's the most wonderful time of year. We're running mad with Christmas cheer.
Hey, what's troubling you, my friend?
It's not fair if you're Jewish.
Not fair if you're Jewish. Dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. I'm made out of clay.
You realize that Christmas ain't the only holiday.
Shout out to Tim Floor for finding that selection. Very good. All right. Happy Hanukkah to everybody out there, because that starts on Christmas Day, too.
Christmas night.
How often do they align?
It's like once every 15 years.
Interesting. So it's sort of a mega holiday celebration for all of, Jewish and Christian.
Yeah, it's great.
Big deal.
And I'll be going to a movie and getting Chinese food. Like
What movie?
normal.
What movie?
The Complete Unknown, the movie about Bob Dylan.
I want to see, that's on my list. My wife wants to see Wicked, and I want to see that one, so I think we'll probably see Wicked.
I think they're both lengthy movies, too.
Yeah. The Wicked thing, I'm out in like half hour.
Wicked is good.
Well, you still have 2 hours and 10 minutes
I know.
left.
That's when I go get extra popcorn, maybe another soda or something. It doesn't speak to me. Would you see Wicked?
I think I'll see it, but again, I think it doesn't speak to me is probably where I'm at as well.
And this Timmy Chalamet kid apparently can act. He spent 5 years learning how to sing and play guitar, and who's the guy
and play an off-key harmonica.
He's like Daniel Day-Lewis, this kid. He's investing into the role.
Well, it takes a long time to emulate Bob Dylan. 5 years sounds about right.
Do you have any musical talent whatsoever?
I have none.
Did you ever play an instrument?
I played some bad guitar and even worse violin.
Did you have long hair then, and you were trying to cash in?
No, I didn't have long hair.
All right, Bill, we're kind of ripping from the headlines. Let's do this one. Tech journalist Kara Swisher, we both read her great book, just came out, I think, this year. Kara Swisher's Burn book. You want a good read on the tech industry, the tech bros, the Bezoses, obviously the Elon Musks, and what's the guy from Facebook?
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, Zuckerberg. And others. She details it all. Well, apparently she doesn't like the fact that Jeff Bezos owns the Washington Post, so she's trying to rally a group of investors to buy it from him. One, it's not for sale. At least that's my understanding. What do you think about journalists sort of going big and say, you know what, we'll take it over to save that great organization?
Well, she made her career bet on being an entrepreneurial journalist, and it paid off big time for her. So maybe she can do it. It'll be like a train crash if it happens. I can't imagine her as the boss of the Washington Post, but I think it would be fascinating to see. I don't expect it to happen, but, the Post is a headache for Jeff Bezos now. Whatever he does, he takes it from either big business or his own staff. He's had to make the trip to Mar-a-Lago to make peace with Donald Trump after squelching the opinion piece, the endorsement for Kamala Harris. So he's been in a no-win situation with that outfit.
You have been in journalism for a long time, 40-plus years. Have we seen a rise of, employee takeovers or employees saying, we're going to buy the company, we'll run it? Have you seen a lot of those or no?
Well, the Journal-Sentinel used to be employee-owned.
Yeah. It's not anymore, though.
Not anymore, but back in the day. So it's happened in the past. But, we've seen a nonprofit model that's like with the Philadelphia Inquirer, where a nonprofit runs it. And that seems to be the way forward for a lot of journalism. You have the big outfits like the New York Times and Wall Street Journal that make money, but then everybody else is scrambling. So, if Kara Swisher has a better way and can get some tech people involved, why not? Go for it.
What do you make of the budget agreements? Late night, Friday nights, they got the votes. Senate.
I think it's a preview of the
House.
next 4 years of utter chaos with actual accomplishments, but utter chaos and accomplishments. Whether Mike Johnson can survive this, I don't know. He has a very thin margin in the House. House Republicans, some of them seem to want to blow up the whole system, and you really can't run a government that way without the support of the opposition party, the Democrats.
That's a great point, because as much as some people, not all, but maybe 40-some%, maybe 50% want to just trash everything and start over, there are benchmarks in government. There are things we have to spend money on, like our military, the men and women serving overseas, our veterans, Social Security recipients, not to mention Medicare and Medicaid. Those things are sort of etched in stone, and to just move all of that to the sideline and say we're going to just put new people in those positions, have no institutional knowledge, no experience in those areas, sort of threatens our cohesiveness as a country that knows how to run things, right? And it's just all these fresh ideas. They may be interesting, but that's typically not how you run a efficient business. You don't just do the fresh ideas and ignore everything else you've done in the past.
Well, I think the real conflict that we're going to see play out over the next few years is Trump won as a populist with working class support, but he surrounded himself with financiers, with the word financiers, and people and billionaires. And can they do the bidding of the billionaire class and also the working class? And that's going to be quite a conflict that plays out.
Well, sort of taking it back to the Kara Swisher burn book and the great writing and reporting on those individuals, you can be a brilliant businessman and not be the smartest guy in the room. Easily. You can have business acumen. You can have a great idea that just went, right?
Well, they all think they're the smartest guy.
Well, that's the point, right? But in some ways they're not, because as we've seen, Elon Musk, Zuckerberg have made really, really harmful mistakes in the running of their companies that have hurt people and have potentially made us dumber as a society and a culture, which I don't appreciate.
Well, part of the problem, I think, with the Silicon Valley mindset is they think that they operate in a vacuum and their success is their success and nobody else has anything to do with their success. But, a country runs, there's roads, there's bridges, there's government. People's success is intertwined in this country.
What do you make of Trump's threats, President-elect, former President Donald Trump's threat against people who were charging him with things or were involved in some of these proceedings, judges, congressional representatives, senators, his effort to maybe put them on his hit list? What does that mean to you as a journalist?
Well, he's going after journalism and journalists. That he was successful. ABC caved with the Stephanopoulos comment.
Yeah,
and there seems to be there's going to be more suits on the way. I think it's a real freezing of the journalistic process. I think is what we're going to be headed for. Can you really take your shot? And will there be fear in taking the shot? But a legitimate shot of X is wrong and here's why.
Yeah, some of this stuff is scary, and we weren't scheduled to talk about pardons, but it appears what the current president is doing, pre-pardoning people and protecting, in some ways, their futures because of these threats against them. And we certainly saw with Hunter Biden, the president's son, which an action I didn't agree with, but that was a sort of preemptive way to keep his son safe from whatever that is going to feel like in the second Trump term. I do worry about its impact on journalists, and you mentioned George Stephanopoulos.
Well, grievance is a powerful emotion, and I think a lot of this stuff is driven by grievance of the winners, and so it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Bill Glauber, veteran journalist, joining us for the entire hour on this Christmas Eve edition and Hanukkah Eve as well, because that's Wednesday nights, beginning for 8 nights. 8 nights, Jess?
8 nights.
All right, so I'm learning so much about Hanukkah this year. We'll take a break here. We got news at the bottom coming up with, I think, Connie Weber, right? Connie Weber joins us, the awesome Connie Weber, and then the latest from ABC. Quick commercial break here.
Throughout history, some people have been born into greatness because of their name or family. Others gained greatness because of their actions. On Wisconsin's Morning News, we celebrate everyday heroes, the John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they woke up one morning they'd be saving a life. Everyday Heroes, Thursday at 6:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi. Talk about Heiser. I'm a customer, spokesperson. I love Heiser. You should too. They are the best in the business at customer service. And I'm talking about everything from buying vehicles, service appointments, just finding out about your vehicle, maybe some body shop work. They can do it all. 5 great locations. You can check it all out at Heiser.com. Right now, I'll be driving it up to Lambeau today. Beautiful Glacier Blue Metallic 2023 Chevy Silverado. Very low mileage. You can actually buy it out from underneath me. People have done this before. It's a great ride. One of the smoothest truck rides I've ever had. It looks fantastic. Highway gas mileage, 30s, low 30s, amazing. And it looks cool. So you got to get that going for me. What else do they do? All the great programs, right? Safe and Sound. Vehicle exchange. If you don't love it, exchange it. Roadside assistance for life. Are you kidding me? That's one of many reasons why Heiser is the place to go for all of your vehicle needs, purchasing vehicles, and all the other stuff I just talked about. That's why they say every day, today's your day.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Patrick and Monica initially chose a bank to get pre-approved and provide financing for the purchase of their first home. But they were getting a bad feeling when a week after their offer was accepted, the bank still hadn't locked in their rate, nor had the appraisal been ordered. Monica shared her concerns with a friend who happened to be a multi-time Accunet client. That led to Monica connecting with one of our senior loan consultants the same day, and after gathering some information and reviewing options, we locked in their rate right then and there with loan costs $3,600 lower than what the bank had quoted. The appraisal was ordered right away too, and the loan closed on time just 3 weeks later. We also noticed an oversight in the contract that led to a $3,000 credit from the seller. You can get a generic pre-approval and average or worse service from a bank, or you can get the kind of fast service, advice, attention to detail, and savings that made Monica and Patrick Accunet's latest raving fans. All you got to do to get started is click on the blue button at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Oh, my back.
Santa?
Gina Dello from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Santa's doing OT.
Let me make a call.
Frighteningly fast Pella team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
I know. Ask for a Pella gift card. Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month.
PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. Ends 12/31/2024.
So this is Christmas. For weekend for strong.
Which one was this? This is one of those big songs. They had all the artists. What was this for? Was this We Are the World?
No, this is John Lennon.
Oh, is this John Lennon?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm mistaken the song.
Christmas.
I am so dumb sometimes. That's one of my dumb
It kind of
moments.
reminds me of We Are the World.
It does. It has that.
Yeah.
So many voices. I mean, it is John Lennon, the great John Lennon, who died way too young. God.
Absolutely.
What would he be doing now, you think? Making great music. I mean, McCartney's still cranking it out.
McCartney and Ringo Starr were together in London this past week at a show.
Where'd you fall on my gift card question? I got like 10 seconds. Why the hell are we buying gift cards when cash would be just fine?
I should do cash, but I do gift cards. I know, and
I am putting a
kick
ban
myself.
on gift cards. I'm going cash from this moment on. I'm doing it. I'm just saying it's easier. You take away the giftees' ability to spend it wherever they want.
There's something really nice about receiving a crisp $20, $50, or $100 bill.
Especially a honey. Honey will make us put a smile on anybody's face. All right, we got the great Connie Weber coming up with local news. Before we get to any of that, plus Glauber times 2, latest from ABC. Boom.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. In New York, Luigi Mangione enters a plea.
Charging with the crime of murder in the first degree and other related charges. How do you plead to this indictment, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
That's the sound of Mangione addressing the judge in New York City, entering his plea. He's facing both state and federal charges in the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Mangione's lawyers arguing the case has turned political and that Mangione's rights are being violated. President Biden granting clemency to 37 of the 40 federal death row inmates. They'll have their sentences converted to life in prison without parole. The three not included: the Boston Marathon bomber and the gunman who carried out 3 of the Tree of Life Synagogue and Emmanuel AME Church mass shootings. Former Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz suing the House Ethics Committee, trying to block the release of the report on Gaetz's alleged misconduct. This is ABC News.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 9:31, I'm Connie Weber. A chase and police shootout in Chippewa County over the weekend. Late Saturday, deputies responded to a call of domestic abuse in Lafayette. Suspect drove off. Deputies followed. The car crashed at County Highway K and 50th Avenue. The man then fired at deputies, hitting a squad car and a SWAT armored vehicle. 2 SWAT officers fired back, hitting and killing the suspect. Wisconsin will have a new Department of Natural Resources secretary for the first time in more than a year. Governor Tony Evers announcing the appointment of Karen Hyun to the position this morning. She takes over the role after previous DNR Secretary Adam Payne resigned for personal reasons in October of 2023. The year-plus vacancy is the longest the agency's been without a DNR secretary in more than 2 decades. The Republican-controlled state Senate will consider Hyun's appointment, which is set to take effect January 27th. Construction of portions of a multi-billion-dollar Microsoft data center campus in Racine County on hold. Milwaukee Business Journal reports Microsoft has paused construction on some sites on its Mount Pleasant campus while it refines the design. The company says it's still on track to invest more than $3 billion on the campus, but did not go into detail on what areas needed refining. First phase of development on the campus is expected to start operations in 2025. Time for some news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is down 220 points at 42,620. NASDAQ up 2 points, 19,574. S&P 500 is down 11 at 5,919. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. We have a new crash. It is off-right, blocking the shoulder. This is going to be Highway 83 North at I-94 West. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Winter weather advisory from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. for Fond du Lac and Sheboygan counties. Here in the metro area, chance of a wintry mix. Cloudy today with a high 37. That chance of a mix ends early tonight. Mostly cloudy, low 31. Cloudy and 36 on Christmas Eve. Christmas Day, mostly cloudy with an isolated drizzle at a high of 38. A slight chance for rain on Thursday, cloudy, 43. And a chance of rain again on Friday with a high of 47. 34 in Madison, 32 in Green Bay, 35 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber, citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 9:34.
This report sponsored by the White Lace Inn, Door County. Order your holiday gift certificates now.
Hi, Dennis from White Lace Inn here. Since 1982, Bonnie and I have been providing comfortable elegance, sincere hospitality, and romantic getaways at the White Lace Inn in beautiful Door County. The White Lace Inn, 18 incredible rooms and suites within 4 Victorian homes, each with a beautiful queen or king-size bed. Enjoy a romantic fireplace and the warmth of a whirlpool for 2. White Lace Inn gift certificates. It's the perfect holiday gift, and it's so easy, you can do it right now from your computer. Go to whitelaceinn.com and take a tour of each room, then click on the gift certificate icon or give us a call. In a few days, you'll receive your gift certificate, which never expires, in the mail along with a brochure to put under the tree. A gift certificate for White Lace Inn. It's a wonderful idea. The White Lace Inn on the Door County Peninsula is open every night of the year. Check out our website now, whitelaceinn.com. The White Lace Inn in beautiful Door County.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
We have latkes.
What are they?
Potato pancakes. We have dreidels.
What are they?
Wooden tops. We have candles.
This is the Adam Sandler thing, right?
Candles.
Yeah. Which I didn't want to play, but it is funny. What do you think of the Adam Sandler? What does he call it? The Hanukkah song?
What do you say, Stephen? You want to
I think this is one of the great days on TMJ. There's probably never been this much Hanukkah music in the history of WTMJ.
I think you may be right. So
I'm doing my best to find it.
Producer Jazz jumping in there. Yeah, for you, because you are a legend in journalism.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, and we honor our guests. All right. So we got an interesting half hour or so here, little less than a half hour on the Political Power Hour. So I like to sort of, when I get to the end of the year, and I've got 2 shows this week and 4 shows next week, well, 2 before the end of the year, where I kind of look back. Big year in Wisconsin, big year in politics.
Huge year.
Let's do biggest story. Can I give you mine first?
Sure.
The attempted assassination of Donald Trump. But for a few inches, that is a unbelievably massive story. Not that it wasn't anyway, but that would have been a story that transformed our year and our political world. And big deal, big story.
Well, I think in the context of the whole incredible presidential race, putting aside the assassination attempt, because that's in its own special category, we had 2 debates. One led to the sitting president leaving the scene. The second debate, which Trump did terribly in, didn't move the polls and was a sign that this guy had a real good chance of winning, and ultimately did win in what has to be one of the greatest political comebacks in American history. Absolutely. From where he was.
So would Trump be your guy then?
Trump is nationally would be my person of the year, absolutely, whether you agree or disagree with him.
Yeah, hard to argue with that. I mean, it is an incredible political comeback, one that most people, myself included, didn't think was going to happen. I called him a boat anchor in the 4 years of the Biden administration. Yeah, there were a lot of remarkable moments in politics, some of we got to cover right here in Milwaukee. And I guess for me, looking at this race, one, I was surprised by the power of Donald Trump, the staying power, the ability to come back from all of the stories that happened in the previous administration. But you look at it, and I think smartly, and whether it was Chris LaCivita or Susie Wiles who ran his campaign, or his campaign staff, or Donald Trump that made this decision to focus on 2 things: economy, the economy's stupid, quoting James Carville, or immigration, border policy. That, to me, was the key to winning this election for Donald Trump.
That, and also the issue on transgender and Kamala
Really?
Harris.
That big?
Yeah, I do think so, because I think that, if you have an issue that translates into the popular culture and into the sports world, I mean, they were playing those ads on sporting events, sports telecasts, and they were, whether you agree or disagree with the ad in terms of its political impact, I think it was quite devastating for Vice President Harris.
Wisconsin had a sort of an interesting result. We had obviously a Trump victory in the presidential race, but Tammy Baldwin won re-election 3rd term. Craig Gilbert has a piece out today looking at sort of the renewal or the re-rise of the Republican Party in Wisconsin based on what he saw in the last election, a couple elections. You buy into that? The Republicans are getting stronger?
Well, They won a race by 20,000 votes after losing a race by 20,000 votes. Look in the legislature where Democrats with a new map made inroads against Republicans. So I'm not necessarily buying it,
right.
But it's not going to shock me if 2 years from now Republicans tend to do well in the governor's race. I won't be shocked. But I need to see it happen.
Yeah, and of course the next 2 years are going to kind of sort of dictate what that feels like, both from a national perspective with Donald Trump as president and Evers, whatever he can do with a sort of revised legislature. Wouldn't it be incredible if when and if Republicans took back the governor's race, they lost the Assembly or the Senate, because those are closer now. And from what I hear, with the new district lines, there is an opportunity for Democrats to sort of retake one or both of those bodies.
Yeah, but candidates count.
Sure.
We just have to see, and money counts. And what effect does Ben Wickler have in running to be the head of the DNC? What effect would that have if he wins on the state Democratic Party? So all this is in play.
All right, I don't want to give you short shrift on your biggest stories of the year, so I kind of moved through that. We kind of went to the person.
Well, actually, to me, the biggest story locally, or among the big stories locally, the suicide of Councilman Jonathan Brostoff, a terrible, terrible story with a lot of layers to it. It was so shocking. We don't know. We know that he did have mental health issues, that he acknowledged. There's some suggestion that he might have been bullied over his stance on Gaza and Israel.
Yeah.
And it was just a horrific story, and it's one that I think shook a lot of people. And it tells you that there are these public people with private travails, and I think it was just simply a major story.
I had the opportunity to sit down next to him at a couple of events, even a wedding. We were seated next to each other, my wife and his wife, at the same table, and I had a lot of conversations about him. I will tell you this: he certainly was strong-minded, and he certainly believed what he believed. But he had a lot of friends, and those friends spoke loudly after his passing that he was somebody that cared about politics, and that level of commitment, having been an elected official, I think is something that we may be seeing less of, and that worries me as someone who cares about what happens.
I think it's a reminder to pay attention to people, pay attention to their mental health, and also not to personalize political issues.
That last one's big, right? Because we see so much of that now, and a day doesn't go by in the studio when I don't get a text about a family dispute about either a news story or a candidate or something that's going on in the news, and it's
on a more conventional story of the year. Again, that's in its own separate category. Jonathan's death. There were tax hikes in Milwaukee County and the city of Milwaukee with the sales tax, and the bottom didn't fall out. Commerce was maintained.
Yeah.
So that's a big story that seemingly under the radar. I think another big story: the Brewers settling on a lease at the new not the new stadium, but American Family Field, and
at least till 2050.
So that's a 50-year life for that stadium. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, isn't it crazy that we build these things in like 50 years, which seem like a long time, but go really fast, and then we're just going to build a new one for $1 billion.
Well, it could be worse. I mean, there are 25-year buildings now.
Yeah.
So, to get 50 years out of that stadium with its roof, that's got a roof.
You miss County Stadium?
I wasn't here for County Stadium.
I played in County Stadium because my dad was the weather guy, the radio weather guy for the Brewers for a couple of years. So we got tickets for the summer games. Loved running around that stadium.
It was similar. I went to school in Baltimore, and it was similar to Memorial Stadium in Baltimore, a bare bones stadium with a big upper deck. And I know it's a lot of good memories for people, but I think American Family Field is creating some of those same memories for new generations of fans.
Hell, if you're a concert goer, you'll love that place because pretty soon it's going to be heated in the winter. You can have year-round concerts.
Can you imagine Milwaukee without that stadium? There would be no Brewers. So that stadium, has solidified a franchise and has become, whether you think it's an economic driver or not, it's a gathering place for the community.
For Milwaukeeans, what's bigger, Brewers or Packers? I'd say Brewers.
Yeah, the numbers would bear that out. More people go to see Brewers games than go see Packers games. I think, but on a Sunday afternoon, if the Packers are playing, it's still pretty empty outside. People are home watching those games.
That is true. I'll be heading up to Green Bay, which I'll talk about later in the show. I'm doing some pregame on TMJ and ESPN 94.5. Veteran journalist, Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. Where else did you work in your long career?
I worked at the Chicago Tribune, and I worked at the Baltimore Sun.
Nice. And you covered a lot of stories. Maybe I'll ask you I might have asked you this once before with I'll ask it this way. Think about this during the break. Most fun story that you ever covered. Don't say the answer. We'll take a break. Bill Glauber joining us on the Monday edition, holiday edition of the Political Power Hour on 620 WTMJ.
Do you know how much money in your 401k or IRA is actually yours? Or will the government take a bigger chunk than you thought? Remember, you might still owe taxes on that money. I'm Tony Drake from Drake & Associates, and I believe it's your money and you deserve to know what's at stake. At Drake & Associates, we believe you deserve to keep more of what you earned. That's why we're here to help you navigate the confusing world of retirement taxes. We'd like to offer you our free Retirement Ready Toolkit. Right now, taxes are historically low, but they won't be this low forever. So text TAX to 414-409-9982 today to get your complimentary toolkit. That's TAX to 414-409-9982. You work hard for your money, and we'll work hard for you.
Drake & Associates is an independent investment advisory firm that offers different investment vehicles. All insurance products are backed by the issuing insurance company. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only.
If you're living with joint pain in your shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees, and you have Medicare or Medicaid insurance, coming to Rejuvenex to solve your pain problems is something you should strongly consider. First off, because our FDA-approved pain treatments have been shown in many cases to be highly effective at reducing inflammation and substantially alleviating pain. Secondly, Medicare and Medicaid cover Rejuvenex treatments, so your cost could be nothing, or next to nothing at all. Chronic pain will only worsen with age. This leads to a far more compromised lifestyle, depression, and soon they start talking surgery. And then what? You have to get in front of arthritis and chronic pain, because the sooner you do, by letting us begin to calm those pain points, the better. I'm Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas, and we can alleviate your pain so you can rejuvenate your life. Go to Rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Driving under the influence of marijuana is illegal, and a law enforcement officer can tell if you're driving high. If you feel different, you drive different. Drive high, get a DUI. Paid for by NHTSA.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
SemperFiRoofing.com. WTMJ's Greg Mansick here for Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac. Get more of what moves you and drive with confidence this winter in a new all-wheel drive Mazda. Holiday is the destination to get more Mazda for your money, more for your trade, and score enticing offers during the Season to Move You event. Well-qualified buyers can lock in rates as low as 0% on most new Mazda models, like the invigorating Mazda CX-30, the off-road ready Mazda CX-50, roomy and responsive 3-row Mazda CX-90, and more. Plus, score an extra $500 holiday cash on new 2025s on top of their low, simplified price. As a longtime Team Holiday fan myself, I know from experience you'll appreciate their exceptional guest care and fun, simple, pressure-free way of doing things. You'll be in great hands with Wisconsin's #1 Mazda dealer on your side. Treat yourself to a test drive, find yours, and drive it home today from Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac and at holidaymazda.com. It's worth the trip.
All
right, I got to take another break real quick because we were jabbering so much, Bill Glauber, that sort of went late.
Sorry to hear that.
So a quick one. Did I hear your answer on the gift card thing? Did you say what it was? I didn't think so.
Yeah, I go to Nordstrom's. I get gift cards from Nordstrom's.
But then the person you're giving to has to go to Nordstrom's. Like, I don't want to go to that place.
I know, but if the person you're getting from goes to Nordstrom anyway, you just do it.
You're in the old man category now. I think you can safely say that.
I'm in the cranky old man category. Yes.
Well, I was being nice. So, the big question now is how much cash do you carry? I'm not asking how much cash you have, but have you got I'm almost cashless most days. I've sort of adopted the new strategy, right, where you're not carrying cash. But if I need to go buy gift cards or whatever, I get the cash.
I might get $100 every 2 months and leave it in my wallet.
Does it get dusty in there?
It gets dusty. You use it for a cup of coffee here or there, but I'm virtually cashless. I agree with you. I mean, I just definitely agree.
I think you got to go that way, and yet people still insist on. There are people in my old job where they still wanted paper checks. It's like, what century are you living in? The wrong century.
I still have paper checks.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I don't even have checks. I have no checks. My which I love, Educators Credit Union, if you want to know. I don't have checks. I don't need them. If I actually needed to have I would just go get a cashier's check. But that's, once every 2 years. I don't need it.
I haven't had a cashier's check in 20 years.
Well, if you need it, though.
I know. I mean, I was just thinking. I'm sort
You're
of
still
breathless.
writing out. Like, do you go to the grocery store and still write out a check?
I don't. I don't write out. I write out checks for services.
Yeah. What if you get? How about this? Is this bad taste? You for a Christmas present, you put a card and you put a check in it. Is that bad taste?
Well, I told my kids this year, I want to get you, a service to clean out your car, a detailing.
That's cool.
But they live in 3 different cities, and there's not like a national detailer. Yeah. So I couldn't get a card. I sent them checks just to torment them.
You couldn't do a little journalistic homework and find out who the best detailer is in each of their cities? You really have shut the spigot off when it comes to investigative journalism. He is Bill Glauber. Final segment. We'll talk about his Hanukkah wish, Christmas wish, whatever he wants to talk about. He's my guest today on the Monday edition, holiday edition of the Political Power Hour. You know where you're listening. We're live on this Monday right here on 620 WTMJ.
Wisconsin winters are unpredictable.
This is history. Never had a tornado touchdown in February.
We keep you updated on blizzards.
Winter storm warning has been issued for all of southeast Wisconsin, and it's going to get really, really dicey.
Blackouts.
Tens of thousands of customers across southeast Wisconsin are without power this morning.
Icy roads.
Very, very slick conditions pretty much everywhere.
And more. With WTMJ Fleet Farm Storm Team alerts on air and at WTMJ.com.
What's on your wrist, Ben?
A watch.
The other wrist.
Oh, I'm handcuffed to a briefcase containing secret plans.
Why?
We can't let these secret plans fall into the wrong hands.
What secret plans?
This briefcase contains the specifications for the mother of all penny mustard bedroom collections.
The colonial bedroom?
Quiet, Nicole.
It's no secret the colonial bedroom is gorgeous.
American made with solid wood and forever tight bed brackets.
And the drawer bottom's strong enough to stand on.
Will you please keep it down?
In Penny Mustard's 3-decade existence, there's never been a bedroom more carefully constructed than the Colonial Collection.
Precisely why these trade secrets need to stay under wraps.
Heck no. We need to tell the world about the Colonial bedroom.
You'd make a terrible spy, Arvid.
Come see the Colonial bedroom with queen-size bed, 6-drawer dresser, mirror, and nightstand, starting at $88.41 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Secret versions of what people want.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
Annex Wealth Management. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning from a fee-only fiduciary. Forget commission sales pitches and financial products you don't need. Know the difference. Annex provides elite, comprehensive financial planning customized to who you are and what you need. AnnexWealth.com.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Elmbrook Family Dental, a great dental team from right here in Wisconsin. Dr. Eric is great. He's born and raised in Elm Grove, and he's the expert when it comes to cosmetic work with Invisalign. Dr. Eric's used Invisalign himself. He knows that would help him treat patients. He can help walk you through the process. The website is elmbrookfamilydental.com. 3 locations, 2 in Brookfield and a brand new spot in Wauwatosa. That's elmbrookfamilydental.com.
Ready for a win? Well, it's your year. At Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee, you could win over $2,000 in free play every month all year long. Just play your favorite games and you might take the stage in the It's Your Year game show. 25 winners each Thursday. There's $300,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs this January. Yeah, we think it's your year. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 years old to play.
Why trust Grandview Homes to buy your home? It's simple. We make the home selling process fast, easy, and stress-free, even if your home is less than perfect. No real estate agents, no repairs, no cleanouts needed. Leave the mess and the stress to us. At Grandview Homes, we live and work in your neighborhoods. Our reputation is built on 15 years treating sellers with the dignity and respect they deserve. Visit GrandviewHomes.com for your fair cash offer today. Grandview Homes, the fastest and easiest way to sell your home.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Like a Jewish takeover of the show, which I love.
We should be doing the horror now.
We should.
That was the horror beat. on that song. That's great.
Somewhere my friend Rabbi Jacob Herber is smiling. He's in Washington State, I think, right now, but he's a frequent guest on the program. One of my favorite guys. All right, since we're talking about Hanukkah and Christmas, Hanukkah wish. What would that be from a Bill Glauber?
Well, for a year of good health and for peace for everybody. And we really need more of that.
How about a personal one? What do you want to work on? And what does a Bill Glauber need to work on in 2025?
Oh boy, everything. Just be a nicer person. That would be what I would work on every year.
I don't know that people have ever. I know a lot of people that work with you or did work with you are your friends that think you're a very nice person.
Well, I try to be, but sometimes you fall down and you got to pick yourself up and apologize and be nice.
Well, you used the term cranky old man before, and I think we both have been put into that category on occasion. You got to push it off, though. You got to shed that. You don't want that.
You got to remain relevant, actually, is what you really have to do, and to remain in tune with life and with what's going on around us.
My personal one is I want to be better organized. So to that point, I organized all my toolboxes yesterday. I was missing tools, but they were just in different toolboxes. You have the tools you use a lot, and that's in a tool bag. And then they have the tools that, once every few months. And then the ones you use like once every 10 years. So they're all like delegated to their own space.
I have no tools. So
you don't fix anything?
I don't fix anything.
What, do you just pay someone to do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably smart too.
But my kids actually, can fix things. I don't know where they get that from.
It's not necessarily something you pass on. Kids will surprise you. They'll go a completely different way. Both of my daughters are completely different people. So that's the magic of it.
Yeah, but organizing tools I would not have on my bucket list.
General organization. For example, I know we're running late here, but I noticed that on my phone I had 20,000 stored texts. And that's probably low for what? Have you looked at your phone?
I don't know how many stored texts I have.
Well, you can actually, it'll show you if you go on if you have a smartphone. I deleted all of them, and I started fresh. Right now, I have probably a text from you, and that's about it. Oh, a bunch of people. I have like 5 texts. You want to stay organized and efficient? That's the way you do. You don't have things hanging around you don't need. That's my personal organization tip.
I'm a disorganized person. I don't think I'll change. I don't think I want to change that.
All right. Steadfast in his insistence on not changing. All right. Bill Glauber, happy Hanukkah. I'll see you next year.
Merry Christmas. Have a great New Year.
You know what my other wish is? More Glauber on the radio.
Thank you.
We'll have to make that happen.
All right.
All right. All right. Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas. I got one more show before we get out of here for the holidays. That's tomorrow, 9 o'clock. News is next.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. So I was looking at some of the bushes that have overgrown on my property, and I love our yard, but I need dormant pruning. That's what takes place during the winter when it's safe to cut back things so you have